Brought to you by Penguin.
This is the Day They Dream of, by Robert Goddard. Read by Philip Arditti. Wenn du lange in einen Abgrund blickst, blickt der Abgrund auch in dich hinein. If you gaze for long into an abyss, the abyss gazes also into you. Friedrich Nietzsche. Jenseits von Gut und Böse. Chapter 1. The summer of 2021 was brutally hot in Algeria, but the arrival in August of anticyclone Lucifer surpassed everything that had gone before. It was aptly named, for the Quran relates that Iblis, before he became Satan, was a jinn made of fire. And fire was what came to Algeria that month. The temperature climbed through the upper 40s, edging close to an unimaginable 50 degrees. Dozens died in wildfires. A suspected arsonist was lynched by a mob. In his Algiers apartment, Police Superintendent Agent Taleb felt as if he was being baked in a kiln. Fortunately, unlike most of his suffering fellow citizens, he had access to an air-conditioned refuge, his office at Police HQ, and there he slept through the worst of the sweltering nights. True, the system shut down from midnight to 6 a.m., but Taleb could start that period at a cool 20 degrees, and the temperature would still not have reached 30 by the time it ended. He affected to be routinely working late, but the night staff were well aware of what was really going on. He thought it unlikely he was the only surreptitious sleeper in the building. At some point, normally around 3 a.m., he would struggle up and descend 2 floors to the loos. He didn't need to turn on any lights to find his way. Those in the loos came on automatically. The foray was a nightly ritual insisted upon by his prostate. He put on all his clothes to undertake the trip in case he bumped into anyone, though he never actually did. He sometimes lingered on a landing on the way back to smoke a cigarette and gaze out at the lights of the city. It was after such a cigarette pause that he returned one night to his office and became aware, as he approached along the corridor, that the door was wide open, whereas he generally left it ajar. This was as much as he could make out for certain amidst the shadows and yellow polygons of street lamp glare shafting in through the windows. He switched on the corridor lights as a precaution, the fluorescent tubes flickering into life at varying rates. Aside from the clicking of the tubes, there was no other sound. He began walking steadily towards the door of his office. He glimpsed the shadow of a movement a fraction of a second before he heard something, cardboard, paper, falling to the floor. Then a man, dressed in black, emerged from the office. He was tall and athletically built, with crew-cut hair. Taleb noticed at once a long scar on his face, running for 10 centimeters or so down over his left eyebrow and cheek. A knife wound would have been his guess. He didn't have time to notice much else as the man advanced on him at a rapid stride. "Stop where you are!" Taleb shouted, with little hope he'd be obeyed. And he wasn't. The man locked eyes with Taleb as he closed on him, then shoved him aside with a powerful thrust of his right arm. Taleb cannoned against the wall and the man was past, running towards the door that led to the landing. It took Taleb a few moments to recover his breath. He'd left his gun locked in his desk drawer and there was certainly no time to go back for it. He set off in a pursuit he knew to be futile. Sure enough, by the time he reached the landing and looked down the stairwell, the intruder was just a shadow descending at speed and already halfway to the ground floor. Taleb hurried back along the corridor to the nearest office, grabbed the phone and dialed the number of the night security desk. No one picked up. Answering a call of nature? Asleep? On patrol? The last was the least likely. It hardly mattered anyway. The intruder was long gone by the time the alarm was raised. All that remained of him was a blurred rear view from a CCTV camera monitoring the side door he'd exited by. As identification, it was useless, but at least it cleared Taleb of the suspicion that he'd imagined the whole thing. The senior security...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?